Have you ever felt motivated just to fall flat over time? Have you run out of feeling inspired? And instead of continuing what you set out to do, you stop until you feel motivated again? But the feeling of motivation doesn't come back. Let me tell you, motivation is overrated. It's a fun and exhilarating feeling that propels us forward over time, but it will run out. Yes, it can fuel us for a short period of time, but it doesn't help us go the distance. What does help us go the long distance is having high values and standards on what it is that we want to do and who we want to be in our life. And if we can set these standards for ourselves, we can build a consistent habit that we can commit to. And it's less about setting goals that you want to hit and more about the continued momentum that you want to keep over time. And by doing this, we can cultivate clear motivation through disciplined action. And discipline is definitely underrated as well as consistency. And when we do this, it creates a higher standard of values and it sets us up for real self-mastery. We actually inadvertently start to develop our own authenticity when we can be able to cultivate these habits that we want to have on a continuous basis because we're doing the things that matter to us. And that will then strengthen our integrity. And so how do we keep motivated and keep showing up in the process? Discipline and consistency are those high standards that we set for ourselves. And we should be selecting activities, actions, and experiences that make us better. And by showing up for ourselves every day, we inevitably fulfill our own potential. So I work out every day, every single day. I don't miss a workout unless I'm really sick and I can't physically be there, which is really rare. And once in a while, of course, I may not be in the mood to go, but I still go. And I know the results of how I'll feel afterwards, which outweighs the feelings if I don't go. And it stopped being a hard line goal to hit a certain number on a scale because when I did do that, I still wasn't really happy with that magical number that I had picked in my head. And I just wasn't happy with what I saw. And so I realized I had to change that mindset and just motivate myself where this is a lifestyle. This isn't a one and done goal that I'm going to hit. This is something I want to have on a continuous basis. And I want to be healthy. So by having that, it really became more of a mental exercise than a physical one. And it helped strengthen my behavior. And it enabled me to do the hard stuff in other areas of my life. And that motivated me for other things and for bigger challenges. And so my motivation becomes my daily discipline to these higher standards and values that I really want for my life. I want to achieve more, so I have to level up and figure out what that looks like. And in order to do that, I have to take on new actions and behaviors. And so we want to always stay in this mindset of discipline is actually a really sexy thing. It's a good thing, and it's a strategic behavior pattern that we want to have in little micro ways. We don't want to lean in on and rely on motivation because that's going to fail and it's going to fall flat. We want to stay consistent in the efforts that we want to do. And we want to not be fooled by the feeling and hoping that that feeling of inspiration is always there because it's going to wane. I have 5 steps to help develop motivated determination and discipline that will help you get into that same place where you can keep the momentum going and to hit the leveling up that you want to do. Step number 1 is envision the lifestyle that you want to achieve. And so this is really where we get to sit with the vision of who it is that we want to step into and become. And each level increases over time. And how do you want to keep elevating yourself and growing? And when you see that version of yourself, think about what actions that they would do on a daily basis to maintain that level. How do you feel when you hit that progress and you accomplish what you set out to do? And you want to start to match that frequency as you move forward. Step 2 is to define the meaning behind it and really understand why this matters to you. And that's important because you want to know, like, what's the point of all of this? If you're going to put your effort towards something, if you're going to make sure that this is something you focus on, why does it matter so much for you? Because if it's vanity and it's not rooted in a real reason, it's going to be hard to stay committed to. And so don't bother torturing yourself if this isn't something that you actually want to do. Instead, you want to turn towards something that you actually want to strive for so that you can accomplish those things. And if it's not in you to do something on a regular basis, accept that for who you are, give yourself a peace of mind, and move on to something that you do. Step 3, identify potential obstacles that could cause you to not want to stay committed, right? We all know that life gets in the way. So we want to think about what that nonsense of life could come up at any point in time that we're going to have to deal with. What are our obvious pitfalls that could make you not want to get up and go do the thing? And plan how you would conquer them. How would you battle? How would you conquer the obstacles? So when they do arise, because they will, that you're able to mentally and emotionally prepare yourself to handle it so that you can stay the course. Step 4, you want to design the right environment that creates a moat to protect you so that you can keep your commitments. So you've identified what your obstacles are. You know what could possibly get in the way. So how do we start controlling the distractions that could happen? How do we start setting up a schedule to make sure that you can fulfill the activities that you want to do? Is it carving out time at night? Is it getting up a little bit early in the morning? Is it turning your phone on D&D? What are those things that you need to do to set the right boundaries in place and make sure that you're getting what you need to be done first? And then you can kind of take care of everyone else afterwards. Step number 5, track your progression. You need to see the data of your progression. Is it documenting your workouts? Is it your journal entries? Is it days marked on a calendar? However you need to document your progress, you want to do so that you can record the journey, especially if you start increasing your momentum and you're going so that you can see where you started and how it is going. Because when you're doing these things, you kind of get lost or you start to not realize how much progression you've made. As we know, change doesn't happen overnight. It happens every single day. And even if you miss a day, don't make excuses to stop altogether. Make it up and stay committed. This is for you. This is you building yourself into a higher potential and really owning that. And remember, it's really about your high standards and why you're doing the things that you're doing. I hope this video helped. Let me know in the comments what keeps you disciplined and committed to your goals. I'd love to hear how it's working out for you. Thanks for being here, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye.